We want to use the latest JavaScript features like the import and export syntax. To do this, we will need to install Babel, which converts this latest features to the ones our browser or server can understand essentially. Let's head back to our console and install a number of dependencies. So I'm going to terminate the server by hitting Ctrl C once again. I'm going to type clear and hit enter to give us more room to work with. Let's go ahead and install all the dependencies we need. So npm install --save -dev because we want them to be installed as dev dependencies. And we have Babel, CLI, Babel core. Of course, we want to have Babel node, and finally Babel. It's going to be preset env. I'm going to hit enter and let them install. So while they're installing, let's go ahead and create our .babel rc file and then add the presets array, which essentially unlocks the upcoming JavaScript language features. So I'm going to create a .babel rc file, and over here we're going to have an object with presets, and it takes in an array, and of course we want to have at babel preset env. I'm going to save this. I'm going to close that. So when we go to our package.json, we can see that we have a number of dev dependencies installed that we're going to need to write the fresh syntax. So the final thing I want to do is I'm going to go to our dev script, and I'm going to change it also slightly. So it's going to be Nodemon, and I'm going to have the exec flag, which essentially is going to execute Babel node, and we're going to go to source index.js. That's okay for now. So I'm going to save this, and if I go back to the terminal and type in npm run dev, our server should start with no problems. So I'm going to go to index.js and convert const express equals require express to the import syntax. So this is going to be import express from express. So if I save this file, then our server should run with no problems whatsoever. The last thing we want to do is we want to create a .env file. Now this is where we store private data like the API keys and the secret credentials, not to mention other things like the port. So let's create a .env file, and over here I'm just going to have port for now, which is going to be equal to, let's change it to 4000 this time around, and I'm going to save that. We need to install one more package, and that's .env. This package makes it easy to access environment variables in our code. So I'll stop the server one more time, and I'll type in npm install .env. Okay, while it's installing, I'm going to go to index.js, and on top of the file, all I'm going to do is I'm going to import .env. So it's as simple as import .env and config. Okay, so we have .env, but we want to change our port from 5000 to whatever's in our .env file. So I'm going to come here and I'll have process.env the name of the key we're looking for. In our case, it's port, and I'm going to save that. So going back to the terminal, I'm going to clear one more time to just give us more room, and I'll type npm run dev. So as you can see, we have I have something listening on port 4000. So I'm just going to close this, and I'll change from 4000 to probably 4001 because I have a side project running on my port 4000. So going back to index.js and running npm run dev one more time, you should see that our app is running on port 4001. And if we go to the browser, we should see hello change. Okay, so let's look at that. So I'm going to change the port to 4001, and I'll hit enter, and you can see that we have hello change. So if I change that to hello is it working and save, and I'll go back and refresh that, we're going to see that hello is it working is displayed on our browser.